All right. So what I'm doing is I got Mercedes. Her name is this lovely lady's name is Mercedez Lucke-Benedict, and she is a beautiful woman. She's very positive when you speak with her, and she's my go-to person for all things border in Arizona and Indian related and stuff like that because she actually has firsthand sight at where the biggest problems are in our nation. And I got wind that somebody had explained to me or said that they were taking Navajo Native Americans into ICE offices and detaining them. And what they are doing, we're taking, like I said, my goal is to take the fear out of all this. They're only going after the criminal element of these illegal migrants. I don't like saying aliens, and we all know this. So the immigrants, the immigrants that are here undocumented and illegally, are being arrested. What this means is ICE is going in and getting them. They have rap sheets that are a mile long, like with the M word and the R word, and all sorts of heinous crimes. And they did say, if you are caught with them, you will be going too. Now, I had gotten told that they're detaining Navajo um, American citizens as well. And so when I looked it up, I went on the Navajo Nation site, and from what it looks like to me is they're getting caught with these people probably, and they don't have the proper documentation on them to prove that they're an American citizen or a Native American Navajo Nation part of the Navajo Nation. So I called Mercedes and I'm like, Mercedes, I'm so sorry. So I called Mercedes and I asked her about this, and I asked her to come on here and talk about it a little bit. So, Mercedes, I'm sure you and Joe would have heard something if they were actually detaining um, these Navajo Nation Native Americans on purpose or whatnot. So what have you experienced in Arizona down where you live?
Okay, so first off, I would say that everybody that in our area, and as far as many people that I they want this to happen. Arizona has is flipping red because of what has happened. I mean, we have been literally under attack since this whole thing began. Our border patrol people have been fired, they've been hurt, they've been humiliated. They've been, I mean, it's been horrible for the border patrol and the policemen. And so, we have a lot of really amazing people here that are pro police. We want our police. So, what is happening right now, as far as what I know, that, and I do know police and I do know border patrol, and we live in a place that is a close knit place. I've not seen anything happen bad at all. In fact, if it's just the standard, what is happening is they are doing the same thing you're seeing, is they are going and picking up the ones that are here with murder and the part of the gangs and the crimes and stuff.
And
That's who
trafficking.
they're going after. Yeah, and sex, and so we literally, since I have been living here almost 10 years now, there are
Excuse
they
me.
traffic these people right down the road. On our dirt road, you will see they're trafficking. They'll pick them up there. They're continuing to do this. Finally, I started calling to make the police and understand that this was even before the pandemic, and when they opened the borders, during the pandemic. So it became worse. Like, literally, you would see, one day I drove by and there was this tiny little girl with an old grandmother. Now, why would they be out there? Okay. And so they couldn't speak English. And so somebody was picking them up. And so we are right in the midst of, the cartel is right by right over there, a mountain. And I can see the mountain from my house. So I'm very concerned about all of this, but I have not heard anything other than what is happening. They're picking up those criminals and they're taking them back to wherever they're going. And yes, hey, if you're hanging out with one of the drug dealers or the criminals or the sex traffickers, and if you're that person hanging out with one of those people, then you're going to get picked up too. Just like if you were a cocaine dealer and you're at an apartment with people hanging out doing cocaine or drugs or whatever, and then you get picked up with that group of people, and then they're going to do exactly what they do here, what they do everybody. They go, and if you don't have your driver's license on you, then what's your problem? You got a problem. If you don't have a driver's license on you, should have your ID. Everybody is supposed to have their ID on them. So if they don't have their ID, they'll tell the police, hey, I don't have my ID. Then they'll have to go take them in and do a background check. It's the same system as no matter what happens in America. That is our system. You're supposed to have an ID on you at all times. The Democrats wanted to get rid of our IDs for that we still have to have them to do other things, but not to vote, apparently. So that is why we don't want that. We are supposed to have an ID. And if these people, maybe they're on the Navajo land, and if they're on the Navajo land and with the Navajo tribe and with the Navajo reservation, they will have their IDs, because the Navajo, you guys may not know this, but all of these tribes, we're on tribal land. In fact, I've dealt with I had dear friend was the police chief of the Pasco tribe. Okay, that is huge. It's a huge tribe. They have the casinos out here. I mean, it's big deal. Okay, if you go to the tribal lands, it's a big deal because they own a lot. They have everything is very much in order. You have doctors there, you have police. All of them are different, right? But they have rules, and you're supposed to have an ID. If you're on the family there, your families are all there. You have homes. It's just like living in a little community. So whoever is getting caught with these groups of people and is getting picked up, if they don't have an ID, um, it will be handled exactly as it would be in any circumstance if you didn't have an ID.
Okay.
They will search you out and find out who it is. They'll I mean, if they are not a criminal, if they are not one of the people, they're not going to kick them out. You're going to be processed and taken back if someone will speak up for you. It's just like anywhere. Just like if I had a like a my kid was under 18 years old and got picked up, he's not an adult, so they would call me and I would have to go, vouch for him and come pick him up, and a family member or friend would have to pick those people up.
Yeah, and you
So
you
as
had mentioned
yeah,
to me that those ID cards for the Navajo Nation, because they had suggested to have their Native American cards on them as well. It's a process even getting those sometimes, and you wait. So, in these
now
people
okay, now
might
it
not even
what
these people might not even know that they're with criminals. Not everybody says, "Hey, hey, have you murdered somebody yesterday?" or "Hey, what's your
of
rap sheet?"
course.
I mean,
Exactly,
so if
exactly.
they're being detained for a reason, and the longer the detaination might just mean that they're having trouble placing them. You know,
Exactly, exactly. And so when I was talking to you about having to get the ID for a certain tribe. Well, I was kind of meaning, like, there's a lot of people that are part Navajo or part any type of Native American tribe. It can be any of them. We have a lot of them here, and so. But what I mean is, like, there are people that can be part Mexican or part white, and they may have somebody in their family genealogy that is part of, say, the Navajo tribe, and so you have to go through a whole system to get yourself, to get to be where you could literally be a part of the tribe. You have to send in your documents and stuff like that just to verify that you were part of that tribe. So that's what I was meaning. It can take a long time to do that process. But if these people are literally just already tribal members, or they're already Navajo and they're already living on the reservations and things like that. They already have, I mean, they were born and they're raised and they have their documents. Just like I have mine and you have yours.
Yeah, and what's
Just that they're over
concerning,
there.
what I did was on my, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry. I will get
Oh
better at
no,
interviewing. This is like one of my first interviews
no.
for a while. And so the other concerning thing is that I did go on actually the government website and pulled exactly what Trump signed for these, and they are targeting the people who are human trafficking and child trafficking, and we can add the S
Yeah,
word. We can add the S word there, and that is a huge thing in the United
it's
States.
huge.
It's huge,
It's very bad here. In
and
fact, it's so
people
bad
are
here.
trying to
Yeah,
figure out what we can do about it, and there's not really anything I can do about it in Connecticut, being where I am, except for what I'm doing now is bringing attention to it. It's a huge
exactly.
problem, and these
Phoenix is the worst.
and if
Phoenix
you
is like the Mecca. They'll come from our border. They'll be picked up, take them to Phoenix Airport, and then they take them out. And it's Phoenix is one of the biggest. It's the largest sex and human trafficking center in our whole country.
yeah, and
So if
my
anybody needs to look this up, they need to look up the guy that is running, the sheriff that runs Pinal County. That sheriff is like a major, amazing sheriff, and he's like a John Wayne kind of guy, but
oh, can
he
you
is
imagine
hard.
his you
Oh
imagine
yeah,
him getting the orders that he can actually go and arrest these people now because of what he's
oh yeah.
seeing?
Well, he's been dealing with and the fentanyl. See, I don't know if anybody has problems like that, but
Oh,
I
we
know
do,
people
yeah.
have lost their family members have died because of fentanyl because it's
Excuse
all
me.
coming here, and these kids don't know, what it is, and they're just taking it.
No, and
And
they
the
can't
Mexican
speak English
cartel
either.
is,
Half these kids can't speak English, and these people can't speak English. And when I saw a thing where with guardianship, that one person had guardianship of like 2,000 kids, how does that happen?
oh yeah, no, they knew exactly those children have been trafficked, and there's so many children that are just, that's all actually like out in the open now. So it's up to us as citizens to start watching, the government documentation when they go to court. They put it on. It's on TV. I've seen them talking about all this. It's all there. And so yeah, so this is a big deal. But I know we're talking about the Navajo,
Yep, we're talking about
that
the Navajo,
particular
but
group.
that actually is part of what I've been trying to get out there too, is the sex trafficking too, which you mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm
they're
super
criminals.
best. Yeah, these people are definitely doing that, and that's been going on. But now it's like, I think you know this, but when they opened the borders, the cartel literally they made their own app. They have their own app, and our
Are you
government
serious?
allowed this. Yeah, they have their own app that they could transport people from any place, from Phoenix, anywhere. It's on an app. All you got to do is, and our president, the president we used to have, and the vice president, all those people, they knew that this whole time.
Well, I don't
And
have to tell
so,
you who was back in Harris because I got a whole big thing on that one too, which I didn't even put up. But all the people, that they have Sean Combs. You know who he is, correct?
yeah,
He's in
bad
jail
guys.
right now.
Yeah.
Every single artist that worked for him was in Harris's campaign and campaign rallies.
Yep.
Put
Oh
it
yeah.
that way. And look what
Yeah.
he's guilty. Look what he's charged with, and that ties into all that what we've been just discussing. So,
Right. But as far as the Navajo thing goes, this is all I know is what I've said. And my name is Lucky, so it's not Luke, it's
oh, it's
Lucky
Lucky.
Bennett. Yeah, it's
Oh,
actually
did I
Lucky.
spell it wrong? Luke?
No, it's spelled yeah, it's Lucke. So
Oh,
the E is should have a hyphen over it, but it doesn't.
Well, I
I tried
spelled it
to.
wrong on here. You know
Uh,
what? I'll
oh,
try to
that's
go
okay.
over it with a different. I'll try to go over the names with different names and spell it correctly. Lucke.
Yeah, it's like lucky,
I
lucky.
always have.
This is
Do
a
you
weird
do
name.
that? I always have a mistake whenever I'm typing something, and then I want to
Always,
do
always,
something, you know,
always.
and I'm doing it professionally, and it's coming out good. Um, and all of a sudden
Yeah,
you realize you typed something in wrong, and you're like,
I
man, I'm
always
not
type the
doing
wrong
that
name.
again. How am I going to fix this? But I did it in a way where I can actually type names over it, so which will be good.
Oh,
So
good.
what I can
Yeah,
do
I
is
always do that.
redo the
But
video
yeah,
in my video thing, chop it off and
but yeah, but yeah, that's as much as I know.
make a ticker. I'll make
Marie.
a ticker to your YouTube page. I'll put your YouTube page on my ticker. You know those little things that go across the screen.
Right. And I don't, I don't want people to think that I am like anti,
No, no,
I love the Native American Indians. I love the Native American I love all people, and I just don't like criminals.
I did
So I
this
don't like.
specifically because you live down there, and if something was going on, you or Joe would have seen it. You guys are in the
Yeah.
know. And this is not political in the least, except for Trump signing that order to get these criminals off the street.
Yeah, we
Now,
just want
we
that.
already have a problem in our inner cities, and I'm sure Phoenix is no different than our inner cities up here as far as our children being on a daily basis being exposed to things that are giving them PTSD and gangs and trying to get them in gangs and shootings and stuff like that. And then what bothers me is all of a sudden the last administration just lets all these people in and makes the situation worse for our children instead of better.
Exactly.
That's another message I'm trying to get out there. So, but I just did
Yeah.
this because you are right down, right at the border. I got some information there. I was told that, oh, you don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, I'm going to check. You know, I'm not going to just go by what I was told. I'm not like that. I do check into things before I even say anything.
Right.
And what I've seen, okay, taking politics out of it, I really like what I'm seeing this week. Let's just put it that way, because it's all about taking the criminals off the street.
Right.
And I teach my daughter, you are the company you keep. So if you're with them, expect you better have your ID on you, because if you're not doing anything wrong, they're not going to arrest you and they're not going to deport you. You're just going to be detained.
Right.
That's been the message this whole week, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the truth? That's what happens.
And you got all this
You know,
misinformation. You got all these other places putting this fear into everybody that they're the ones that are going to be taken away. And I don't like that. As an American citizen, I don't think we should live our lives in fear. I think we need to stand up and say, no, enough's enough.
yeah,
Let's
I
get
mean,
the
that's all
truth
they
out
want. They
there.
just want everybody to be in fear because fear is from the Satan.
Exactly, that's all they want. But when I have a platform, this is what I can do, to help.
Right.
So when I have a platform and I'm knowing how to do this stuff, I can do this to help. This is my way of helping the situation instead of hurting it. I want to eliminate the fear that most Americans have. And I have had a couple good discussions with people. It's just it needs to happen like we just had it. And I appreciate
Yeah.
you, Mercedes. You took your time out real quickly to do this for me. So it's been
You're
almost 20
welcome.
minutes, and I appreciate you being there on the fly. You really helped me calm down too, because now I'm more sure of myself when I speak of that.
Well, good. I mean, we all just have to try to get the correct. I think you did the right thing because I am here. It's like me calling you and trying to ask you, and you don't know because you're over there.
Yeah.
It's completely different now that
Yeah.
I've been over to Connecticut. I know it is
Different
completely different.
dynamics. Did you see that? Different dynamic. We are a huge,
Exactly.
huge country, and I mean,
Yeah.
you got your Europe.
But
How many Europes can you fit in the United States?
right. You know
So
what?
we
What's
got
so
different
funny is like
demographics.
And plus I got to thinking, like, you got all that forest, like, it's completely different. We don't have there's forests in different areas, but, like, out here, there's no forest. Like, I mean, you can see
You got
who's
those
coming, so you
tumbleweeds.
can't hide in the forest, you
Got
know
the
what I mean?
tumbleweeds and those donkeys smiling
Yeah,
at you.
donkeys. There was a
I can't.
tumbleweed I was almost this is the biggest tumbleweed was about as big as a car. This is what it's
I think
driving,
it's
it's
beautiful.
rolling down the road. It's
I
like, oh my
love
god.
watching you on your farm when you do your farm and the animals. I'm like looking all around past the subject matter. Let's see what it looks like. It's so beautiful down there to me because I don't know, but
So
um
wide open space.
did you get any snow or no, you said you didn't.
Oh no, like, and today, I mean, like, it was like I was so warm I had to go freaking put shorts on today because it's just so warm. But it got a little chilly at night. It gets chilly at
'Cause you're in the
night.
desert.
Yeah.
How chilly does it get at night?
So, like, it did kind of freeze, like, it's to freezing, just below freezing, it's like, under 20 degrees. But then, that's just at night. But I'm hoping we might
And
get
then what?
some.
It goes up to 90 degrees during the day, right?
No, I don't think it was. I think it's in the 70s. Yeah. Like, I mean,
Perfect
really, if
weather.
we don't get,
Perfect.
we will, I know, but you never get any. It's like, come on, can we just have at least a week? I mean, maybe accumulation of 7 days of really cold weather the whole winter. So it does make you wish that you had more winter because it's just like the heat is once the heat comes, it's like relentless. I think,
I
and it
can
takes a long
imagine.
time.
Yeah, I can
So
imagine.
I mean, like, I know we all have our different things,
I
but
honestly I
I
don't
better get
like the other
going. No,
demographics, so I'm staying in Connecticut. We got nice seasons here, but it's been really cold this
yeah.
week that I don't like it. Anyways, you go, you do what you have to do. I'm sure you got to pray with your husband too soon. So, oh
Yeah,
no,
it's
no,
time for
not
him.
soon. It's only 8.
Not yet. We're
It's
still.
what is it?
He's hungry
6:30
though.
there? 6
Yeah, he's
o'clock?
getting hungry, and I can
Oh,
hear him out
you
there.
can hear my tummy's
I gotta get
growling.
some dinner cooking.
All right, you have a
He's in there
great
in the
night,
kitchen.
Mercedes, and I really appreciate you. You know that? I
Oh,
love
thank
you. I
you.
love you
Oh,
guys, and I
you're just a
appreciate you.
sweetheart. You really are. We just love you when you're
Oh,
on the
I can be a
unseen
cranky
room
little.
chat and on the warrior mode chat.
I talk too
So
much. I feel like I'm talking too
no,
much every time. Yeah,
never.
but I try to get the
No.
chat moving. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's good.
I mean,
I think it's good. I mean, it's always good for the what do you call it? The algorithms. All right. Well, thank you for having me on your show.
oh, and thank you for. Oh, see, I haven't done this in a while. Thank you for being here and thank you for answering that question. I really, really appreciate you, Mercedes. You don't know how much.
All right. Good night and God bless.
Good night, and you have a great night.